Okay then, welcome to my first video. Today I'm just going to be showing you how to beat Chapter 2 into Future Moon. I might be quite terrible at it, but doesn't stop me from making a guide. Anyway, this is the loadout. A lot of my units are over leveled and I've got all the treasures, but it works for level 25 and all treasures up to this point. Any other Ubers that you have might be useful. For example, like if you have Bora, Bazimon / Bazibastra, or Gravolo, or Saber, or Mitoma, because I've got Mitoma as well, then they are all gold saves, like replace Urun. There's some others as well, but I don't want to go over all of them. I don't have that time, I don't even own them all. Also, some other crowd controllers work. I'm very minimal on the crowd control. I've only got 2 units. This guy, if you have his third form, you can pretty much solo the stage. And I have him on his second form for demonstration. He's a crowd control, so he works at level 10, just so long as you have him evolved at least. As for Cicado, true form works great. This form, it's okay, it can work. Crazed is for waves. If you have Manic, which would be quite surprising at this point, then go ahead to use that. Same with these. I mean, come on, you're not going to have them. I mean, it's quite early on in the game yet, but just in case you do. Right then, so as you can see, the loadout's quite funny. You can replace Crazed legs with Crazed Dragon, but the thing is with that is the single target and no waves isn't the best. Right when you start off, you want to crowd control because you're not going to be able to hold off much of it. So summon some meat shields and some crowd controllers. Don't stack them up much yet, that's not what you're meant to do yet. Stack 2 up, maybe wait for the Scissoroo, just wait for the Scissoroo thing. While you're at it, save up for Urun. Urun's very nice to have at the beginning. It's okay if you don't, but if you don't, then you've got to let the Valkyrie get closer to your base so you've got better timing. And you also have to rely on the RNG of Urun's knockback, so I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend not over pushing at the beginning. If you try to just send a couple things out and meat shields, that should work as well. Just stack up enough things you don't have to worry at all, because you can just use them to permanently store Valkyrie in place. Okay, as you can see, I've got Urun out. Now we should be ready to hit the base. I'm winging it, by the way, but I feel like this is how I do it, because I think this is how I did it first time. Except I didn't use all these units, I kind of just busted through it with my dream team. Took quite a bit, took a continue as well. And you're at the max deployable unit limit at this point, most likely, so it's probably worth laying down a bit on the cats. See how it gets outranged a bit, or at least I think he does, so you probably want to hope there's enough stacked up you can perma-freeze Valkyrie so they don't die, but even if they do die, it's okay. It's okay, you can get another one next time to freeze it a bit. The main reason I have the legs instead of the dragon is to snipe all the peons. This works with level 25, although I would highly recommend at least level 25. Level 20 would mean you'd have to replace one of these with, like, Cameraman or something. In fact, no, you'd have to do Cyborg, not Cameraman. You'd also have to get a Rich Cat, because Cameraman's outranged by the boss. Now, you want to get all these units out as much as you can. Once the boss is out, I do highly recommend a cat CPU, but if you set it off at the beginning, it might overpush and fire at the base, or it's going to level up the wall. The wallet isn't that important, but if you can help it, get a couple levels. Especially if for some reason at this point your wallet isn't maxed. True forms of the meat shields are the normal meat shields are highly required. If anything, you need to have them plus 10. Or in fact, you need to have them plus 20 at this point. If not, then level 10 plus does work, it's just a lot harder, because they'll get one shot. Anything less than that, and you may as well just have any other form. Although they do help store the peons a bit better, so what you want to do is you want to do this. Once you get some strength in, if you have enough of a wall of corrupted psycho the psychocat, you can just do this. To be honest, it's only that tough. Straight up kill him. At this point, you don't. Yep, he's dead. I mean, she's dead. I'll probably go out on a wing and say if you evolve a couple more cats, you might actually be able to beat Bahamut on the moon with this track. I'll show you that as well, actually. So how long we got? Oops, I haven't turned on the charger. Hang on, I'll turn on the charger. Here we go. Anyway. Now, let me check the time. 5:30? Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay, so that's that chapter. Next chapter. These people take over Earth and whatever. You see, this stage isn't too much different. It's much tougher, but isn't that much different. It works with similar cats. In fact, you pretty much just need to evolve this guy and get rid of him, because you don't need him. And then you definitely need to evolve this guy. And now there's this extra slot. I recommend a decently ranged attacker. If you can help it, you can get a Manix. At this point, the Manix might not quite be yours, but for the demonstration, I'm going to use a Manix. I'm going to just use none of these actually. I don't want to put anything out of reach, but yeah, this is the loadout. You can probably replace this one with the Manic, although it's okay without. It's just much tougher. And you probably want another anti-alien crowd control. In fact, I pretty much highly recommend it. Like, maybe it's guaranteed. It's not needed, but it's guaranteed to come in handy. I'm not going to put in an Uber, and I'm not going to put in the Legend Cat, although I will put in Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk isn't needed in the slightest. You can replace him with an attacker, so long as the attacker outranges or just straight up waits for the freeze and then attacks Bahamut, because, yeah, soon you're not going to have this smelly guy, you're going to have the fast boy. So, let me teach you how it's done. Again, I'm winging it, so don't take this advice too seriously, and if I fail, don't listen to me. To be honest, I'd still meat shield at the beginning, and I'd probably still send out a couple crowd controllers, and maybe this time a legs at the same time. Let them progress a little bit, and don't stall too much. In fact, don't push too much neither. You don't want to do too much, you actually want your units to die. So this big chunk of units, you want them to die. Might sound like a weird request when you're trying to kill things, not get killed, but you've got to let everything die. Let it die, let it die. Like, let everything die. If you just about can't manage it, I think there's another wave before Bahamut. I'm not sure though, so I wouldn't bet on it. There you go. So now we've just got that. You want to level up your wallet and start meat shielding. This is a single target enemy right here. That isn't going to do much. If you can help it, knock her back again, put her behind the crocodile. Do what you have to do to let the single target low attack rate attacker attack and not die. Now then, stack up Cyberpunk. You knew it. You know what I was going to say. It's not required. But if you have Cyberpunk, you've got to use him like this, or else he's not going to be that helpful. Okay, I did terrible at stacking Cyberpunk, so I'm just going to progress to that base. I think you might actually want to let Bahamut get to your base. I forgot what you have to do. Okay, I'll get the legs out. I think you need to progressively do some chip. So at the start, if you can somehow manage to perma-freeze Bahamut, you win. The peons in the stage, while threatening, aren't really enough to, like, push you out the way. Unless your meat shielding is extremely low the case, or if you've reached the cap limit like I have. Because he just wrecks through your meat shields. If you reach the cap limit, so you're pretty much dead. He's just going to kill everything. Like this. You can still kind of hold his stance for a sec. Maybe even freeze the guy, but I think he outranges him. I think he outranges Seafarer, that was rubbish then. And now, slow him. You've got to stall the inevitable a bit. That's how I work it. Now you want him to stay away from his peons, and then you want to start stacking. Stack a lot. Like, stack a lot. There you go, freeze him. He does outrange Seafarer, but it is still possible to time Seafarer in. The first hit does insane damage, the next two don't do anything, so... If you manage to get Seafarer in at the right time, you can wait for him to not get touched. The other ones are pretty much decoy attacks. They still do damage. They do 222. And the first one does 40-something thousand, so... It's a big difference. Uh-oh, I didn't think this would happen. Ooh. Don't take my advice. Don't take my advice. Oh, I knocked him back. I'll try with some different units. I think this didn't work well. Right then. I think we need a different strategy. Second try, don't listen to my first one. I've got to be even less offensive at the beginning. So then. Send out the legs to kill some of the stuff. Send out 2 different crates of meat shields. Twice each. This is pretty much just follow the exact steps of what I do. Now then. Every single time the legs are off cooldown, you want to get them out. Once I tell you to cyber stack, you stop sending them out. They must be dead before you cyber stack. Okay, cyber stack. So now you've got a cyber stack. For starters, if something like this happens where a ton of things stack up, start being offensive. Quite offensive, in fact. Don't be too offensive, you don't want to push too hard. If you have Courier before this, you've won. Literally just begin off with Courier and then time it so Courier dies in a certain way. Once there's only one Celeboodle left, you want to play around with them. You see, I did it wrong. Now I'm going to die. Don't listen to me. This is my last attempt because I don't got much cat energy, so this fails, then just take the first guide and don't use the second. Ooh, so then. What you want to do is you want to lay it down on the meat shields a bit now. Don't clog up the cat limit yet. You need a bit more firepower. And a bit more crowd controlling if it works like that. So then, now you actually want to try and hit them. Make sure that you get a slow off on Bahamut. This, you see, Corrupted Psychocat is key in this stage. Now then, Ururan's going to get quite a few hits off. Cyberpunk is also quite key, although he's not quite the key that you're looking for. So, don't take this for granted. There are way better options. If you have any Ubers like Bastra, you've won. I'll say that again. Just Bastra. If you have Bastra, you've won. Get it to level 30, get it evolved, and spend some cat's eyes on it if you have them. This is extremely tough, keep in mind. It's not something that you're going to do when you sleep. Now then, Bahamut will be your next unit to send out. So you're going to want to kill. You don't want to kill something. If you can't, then that's okay, just send out Bahamut. You kill something to afford Bahamut faster, but if you can't, then just wait. And I've failed. You see what happens if you fail? Yep, that's what happens if you fail. Fail. Well, let me just roll a ticket and see what I get. I have a lucky ticket as well. It's not that lucky because they're worse than normal tickets, but whatever. A little fish. Tiny little fish. It's not that good because you need to have True Formed, which is going to be tough to get because, you know, it's called Awakening Stages, Deadly Mode. Come on. Oh, I need 2 more. 2 more. I can get one. Okay, that'll be the end of this Battle Cats video. Right after I finish this, I'm going to go on to Bad Piggies. It's not going to be a guide, it's just going to be getting random boxes, but in fact, I'm not sure what to do. I'll figure out something. I'm going to do something. Might be related to cats, might not be. I mean, my username's Cats in the Cupboard, and my main series is going to be Battle Cats, so for the most part, Cats is more leaned into this, but I'll see you in a different video in literally, like, I don't know how long, but, like, at least today. Bye.